Kevin O'Leary looks into the camera and tells you your $5 latte is the reason you're not a millionaire. And for years, people nodded along, guilty, embarrassed, promising themselves they'd cut coffee and finally get rich. But here's the uncomfortable truth. In 2026, that advice is not just outdated. It's dangerous, because if you think skipping coffee is going to change your financial life, you've already lost. Let me be brutally clear. You are not broke because of small expenses. You're broke because you don't know how money actually multiplies. You're focusing on pennies while the real game is being played with positioning, timing, and deployment. Saving is defensive. Wealth is offensive. The world has changed. Inflation didn't politely wait for your budgeting app. AI didn't ask for permission before replacing jobs. Assets didn't get cheaper just because you brewed coffee at home. While you were cutting small comforts, the cost of being unskilled, uninvested, and unleveraged exploded. Here's what no one tells you. A disciplined saver with no strategy still loses. Slowly, quietly, invisibly. Your money sits still while everything around it moves faster. And standing still in a compounding world is the same as going backward. The real question isn't how do I save more? The real question is, where does my first $100 go so it comes back with friends? Because wealth doesn't come from denial. It comes from direction. Right now, somewhere, someone with less money than you is getting ahead faster than you ever will, not because they earn more, but because they deploy better. They understand that money is not a scorecard, it's ammunition. And ammunition sitting in a drawer does nothing. If you're still broke, it's not the coffee. It's the lack of a system. It's the absence of leverage. It's the fact that no one ever showed you how money actually scales. And that's about to change. In this video, you're not going to hear fairy tales about hustling harder or saving longer. You're going to see exactly how money moves in 2026, where the first $100 should go, what traps to avoid, and why the people screaming just cut expenses will still be stuck giving advice instead of living results. This is not about being frugal. This is about being precise, because when you know where to deploy your first $100, the second $100 gets easier, then the third. Then the system takes over. And once the system is working, coffee stops mattering. Kevin O'Leary is not lying to you, but he's not talking to you either. And that's the dangerous part. When a multimillionaire tells you don't spend, he's speaking from a completely different universe. His money is already deployed. His assets are already compounding. His capital is already protected from inflation. So when he skips a latte, nothing changes. When you skip a latte, nothing changes either, except you feel disciplined while staying broke. That advice sounds smart because it's simple, but simple doesn't mean correct. Here's the mistake. Celebrity financial advice assumes you already have leverage. You don't. They're optimizing. You're trying to survive. And optimization without a base is just starvation with better branding. Being cheap is not an investment strategy. It never was. When rich people say cut expenses, what they actually mean is protect your deployed capital. When poor people hear it, they translate it into self-punishment. Cancel joy. Delay life. Hoard cash. And call it progress. But let's talk reality. If you put your $100 in a jar and feel proud of yourself, inflation will quietly steal it. At current trends, by December 2026, that $100 will buy meaningfully less than it does today. You didn't lose it overnight. You lost it invisibly. That's how inflation wins, not with headlines, but with silence. Saving without multiplying is not safety. It's slow erosion. Scarcity thinking tells you money is fragile, rare, and meant to be protected at all costs. That mindset makes sense if you're already rich. It's poison if you're trying to get there. Because when you're scared to deploy money, you're scared to grow. The wealthy don't worship saving. They worship cash flow, asymmetry, and return on attention. They ask a different question. Where does this dollar work hardest? Not how long can I hide it from spending? And here's the brutal truth. If your entire financial plan is to spend less, your upside is capped. You can only cut so much. There is a hard floor to frugality. But there is no ceiling to intelligent deployment. Celebrity advice keeps you playing defense forever. Defense feels responsible, it feels mature, but defense alone never wins championships. You don't escape mediocrity by shrinking your life. You escape it by expanding your leverage. And until you understand that difference, no amount of skipped legs will save you. Here's the shift that changes everything. And it has nothing to do with how much money you make. It's how you think about the first $100 in your hand. A poor mindset asks, what can I buy with this? A rich mindset asks, what can this buy for me? That single question is the dividing line. Look at what most people do with $100. They spend it on shoes, clothes, gadgets, things that feel valuable in the moment, but collapse in value over time. 2 years later, those $100 shoes are worth maybe $10 if you're lucky. The money didn't disappear. It just transformed into something that can't help you anymore. That's not stupidity. That's conditioning. You've been trained to treat money as a reward, not a tool. Work hard, get paid, spend, repeat. And every cycle resets you back to zero. No momentum, no compounding, no escape velocity. Now look at how the rich think. When they touch $100, they don't see comfort. They see leverage. They ask, how do I turn this into something that sends money back to me? Even if it's small, even if it's slow, because they understand a brutal truth. Money that doesn't come back is dead money. Rich people don't start with millions. They start with systems. And systems don't care about your starting amount. They care about your consistency and direction. Here's the lie that's keeping you poor. I'll start when I have enough money. Enough for what? Enough to feel safe. Enough to feel smart. Enough to avoid embarrassment if it fails. That day never comes because enough money is a moving target. When you have $500, you think you need $5,000. When you have $5,000, you think you need $50,000. And while you're waiting, inflation eats, opportunity passes, and time compounds against you instead of for you. The richest people you admire didn't wait for comfort. They started when it was uncomfortable, when the numbers were small, when mistakes were cheap. $100 is not too little. $100 is perfect. It's small enough that failure won't destroy you, but big enough to teach you how money behaves. It teaches you how risk feels, how return works, how patience pays, how strategy beats emotion. Poor thinking says, what if I lose it? Rich thinking says, what does this $100 teach me if I deploy it? Because the lesson is the real asset. And here's the uncomfortable part. The reason many people stay poor is not lack of opportunity, but fear of looking foolish. Saving feels respectable. Spending on assets feels risky, but one keeps you static and the other moves you forward. The rich are not reckless. They are deliberate. They don't gamble. They play small, intelligent bets with asymmetric upside. They let winners run, they cut losers fast, and they repeat. Meanwhile, poor thinking treats money like glass, fragile, untouchable, meant to be protected instead of multiplied. If you're still poor, it's not because you don't earn enough. It's because every dollar you touch dies with you instead of going back to work. The moment you stop asking, what can I buy? And start asking, what can this pay me? The game changes. And the only ticket you need to enter that game is your first $100. You have $100, that's it. Not $1,000. Not $10,000. $100. And I'm going to show you exactly how to turn it into something that doesn't just sit there like a useless ornament. Because in 2026, sitting still is losing. Every moment your money does nothing, it shrinks in real value. Inflation, opportunity cost, and tech disruption don't wait. Here's the brutal truth. The first $100 you touch sets a psychological precedent. If you blow it on a gadget or shoes, your brain celebrates mediocrity. If you deploy it strategically, you start a compounding cycle that changes how you see money forever. So, let's break it down. A precise, actionable plan, dollar by dollar. $40 in index funds, ETFs. The safe base, the first $40 goes to what I call your safe base. Forget speculation for a moment. Forget the headlines. Forget the crypto FOMO. You need a foundation. That foundation is the stock market, specifically broad market index funds. Think VO, think VTI. Why? Because these aren't tips. These are data-driven facts. And historically, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% per year over decades. VTI, a total U.S. market ETF, gives you exposure to thousands of companies at once. That $40 is not exciting. It's not glamorous, but it's safe. And safe compounds faster than chaos. And don't kid yourself. $40 is enough. Fractional shares exist now. You can own a slice of Amazon, Apple, or Tesla with just a few dollars. That's power. You are no longer a spectator in the markets. You are a participant, learning the rhythm of buying, holding, and compounding. Your safe base is the psychological armor you need. It teaches patience, removes emotion from investing, and ensures that a portion of your $100 is always moving forward. $30 in 2026 tech AI. The aggressive growth, the next $30 is where we play offense. This is your future money. 2026 is the year AI, automation, and next-gen tech explode. Companies building AI chips, autonomous platforms, and biotech breakthroughs aren't just ideas, they are asymmetric bets. Small investment, potentially huge returns. Fractional shares make this accessible. $10 here, $10 there. Maybe you buy a fraction of NVIDIA, maybe a piece of Palantir, maybe a slice of an emerging AI startup's IPO. You are not trying to time the market perfectly. That's a sucker's game. You are placing intelligent bets on what technology will dominate the next 5 to 10 years. Remember this. Most people will spend $30 on coffee, entertainment, or clothes this month. You are placing the same $30 on a machine that could pay you back tenfold over time. This is the mindset shift. Risk is only scary if you treat money like it's your only ticket. But if you treat $30 as tuition in the School of Compounding Tech, suddenly risk becomes education. By allocating this portion, you are teaching yourself how to identify trends, manage risk, and build optionality. That is the skill, far more than the individual stock price. $30 in self-education. The highest ROI, the final $30 goes where the real compounding begins, your brain. Books, online courses, specialized tools. This is the part of your $100 that actually increases your earning potential, because the best ROI in 2026 is your own skill. Pick something ruthless. Not how to be happy or 10 habits for life. Something measurable, actionable. Want to trade? Buy a book on technical analysis or get a tool that tracks your trades. Want to code AI? Buy a course that teaches Python for machine learning. Want to start a side hustle? Buy software or a course that teaches you how to scale it. Here's why this works. Every dollar you spend on your brain compounds faster than any stock. Skills are portable. Skills are leverage. Skills are assets that nobody can take away from you. That $30 isn't just $30. It's the seed for exponential growth. You are upgrading the hardware that controls your money. And in 2026, that's the difference between staying stuck and becoming financially inevitable. Putting it together, the $100 strategy. So here's the blueprint. Brutal. Simple. $40 safe base, passive, stable growth in index funds, ETFs, your foundation. 30 tech, AI, offensive, high upside deployment in emerging sectors, your optionality. $30 self-education, skills and knowledge that multiply everything else, your leverage. $100 isn't a joke. It's your first move in a game where most people wait for enough. But here's the secret. You never get enough. The game is about starting, learning, and compounding. $100 teaches you discipline. $100 teaches you deployment. $100 teaches you the difference between spending and investing. And here's the kicker, you don't have to wait. Fractional shares, e-learning, micro-investment apps, they exist. You can execute this blueprint right now, this week, and begin the process of flipping you. First $100 into your first $1,000, then $10,000. Most people will look at $100 and see limitation. You see leverage. That's the mindset shift. That's the compounding edge. And in 2026, the edge isn't in luck, it's in execution. Do it right. Do it consistently. And watch the snowball of your first $100 become a storm that reshapes your financial reality. Stop. Before you spend another dime, listen carefully. There are things in 2026 that will destroy your money faster than inflation. And yes, most people you know are buying them right now. First, fast fashion and hype clothes. Those sneakers, jackets, or limited drops that look cool today. They lose value the moment you walk out the store, 90%, instantly. That $200 pair of hype shoes you think is an investment in style is really $20 in 2 years. Every dollar you pour into these fleeting trends is a dollar removed from your financial future. I want to be clear. You are literally paying to depreciate. Stop glorifying it. Stop defending it. If you're spending $100 on clothes instead of assets, you're choosing instant gratification over compounding. Second, new cars on debt. The interest trap is real. Buying a brand new car with a loan is financial malpractice disguised as status. That moment you sign the papers, depreciation hits like a hammer, 20 to 30% instantly, while interest keeps draining you month after month. You're effectively paying for someone else to drive your asset while your net worth shrinks. Lease, finance, or buy new cars on credit. It's all a trap. If you value leverage, freedom, or options, new cars on debt are your enemy. Third, get rich quick crypto schemes. 2026 is full of shiny meme coins and zero utility tokens promising exponential returns overnight. Here's the truth. If it's designed to go up fast and has no product, no revenue, no purpose, it's a gamble, not an investment. You're not playing Monopoly, you're risking your real money. The second you buy it, you become the market's entertainment, and the floor is always lower than you think. High-risk speculation might feel thrilling, but thrill doesn't pay bills. Skill and strategy do. Here's the brutal takeaway. Every dollar you spend on these three things is a dollar that can't work for you. It's not neutral. It's actively destroying your wealth trajectory. Avoid them. Not for a week, not for a month. Make it a permanent rule. Want to see your financial life improve? You have to become as ruthless about what you don't buy as you are about where you do invest. The world will tempt you with status, hype, and easy promises. Most people cave. Most people lose. You're not most people. You're the one reading this, ready to flip the game. Keep your money where it grows, not where it evaporates. Miss this, and all the strategies in the world won't matter. Miss it, and your $100 deployment turns into a $100 lesson in regret. Avoid fast fashion, avoid new cars on debt, and avoid get-rich-quick crypto. Respect the discipline. Respect the compounding. Respect your future. 2026 is not a year to sit back and hope for luck. It's a year for the smart investor, the one who understands that every dollar is either working for them or against them. Most people will scroll, watch, and do nothing. They'll wait for permission, for timing, or for enough money that never comes. Here's the brutal truth. The billionaires you admire, they forgot what it's like to have nothing. Their advice is shaped by millions already in the bank. It's not wrong for them. It's dangerous for you. Because taking advice from someone who no longer remembers struggle is like asking a marathon winner how to take their first step. Context matters. You have one tool right now that can change everything, your first $100. That's all it takes. Not $1,000, not $10,000, just $100 strategically deployed. The decisions you make with that $100 set the precedent for how every dollar after behaves. Will it sit idle? Will it multiply? That choice is yours. And here's the challenge I'm putting in front of you. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Start today. Deploy your first $100. Follow the blueprint. A portion into index funds, a portion into high upside 2026 tech, and a portion into your own education. Make that one day matter. Think about it. One small, disciplined action today can compound into something enormous tomorrow. And nothing builds confidence, momentum, and wealth faster than execution. Not theory, not debate. execution. So here's what I want you to do. Comment start below if you are investing your first $100 this month. Make it public. Make it real. And subscribe for the weekly 2026 wealth updates, because staying informed and disciplined is how winners separate from the masses. 2026 is your year. Not for procrastinators, not for the scared, not for those who scroll endlessly. This is the year for the doers, the smart investors, the ones who take $100 and make it a foundation. Start today. Start smart. Start unstoppable.